What's going on today, guys? It is your captain from the clouds, Bobby Young, coming at your face with another YouTube video. Today I want to talk about something a little bit special, because I've actually had this question come to me a couple times in the past week or so. And that is, they always ask me, Bobby, how the hell did you get to where you're at? How did you get to where you're at? How did you get to doing what you're doing? And to that, well, I actually live by a small motto in my life. And what that is keep your head low, stay grinding, and don't worry about what anybody else is doing. You worry about you. And what I mean by that is, well, there's this story that I heard a while back that kind of explains it quite a bit. Well, you see, there were two neighbors that lived next to each other. The first neighbor was named Tom. He lived in this nice house, had a beautiful yard, a really nice garden, a bird bath with all the birds singing in it and shit. He even had a tree out in the front yard. It was a really nice house with like a white picket fence and all kind of stuff. And next door to him was Jim. Now Jim, he had a nice house, but the yard was all like dead, and there was like a tree stump in the front yard, and he didn't have a garden or anything like that. And one day, Tom went over to Jim, and he said, Tom said to Jim, you really need to clean up your yard. Like, it's a disgrace to the neighborhood. Your yard is making my yard look bad. And Jim's just sitting back, relaxing on his front porch. And he goes and says to the Tom, just you watch and wait. One of these days, I'm going to have the most beautiful yard and most banging garden you've ever seen. So Tom walks back over to his house all pissed off and shit. He's like, nobody's ever going to have a yard that's any better or a garden that's more beautiful than I. So he goes home that night, goes to bed, wakes up the next day, and goes back over out into his yard to look at it. Well, now he looks over and sees that over in Jim's yard, the grass has gotten 10 shades greener. The grass looks amazing. And Jim even bought himself a bird bath. Tom's over there like, no birds are gonna want to come take a bath in your bird bath whenever my yard looks so much more amazing. And he goes over to Jim and he's like, why did you buy that bird bath? You saw that I already had one. And Jim just kind of sit back and chuckled. And he said, just you wait, Tom. One of these days, I'm gonna have one of the most beautiful yards and most banging garden that you've ever seen. Tom goes back home. He's like, okay, maybe he's got a nice yard, but he ain't ever gonna have a garden as beautiful as mine. So Tom goes to sleep, wakes up the next day. He goes outside, he looks over and he sees that Jim has a brand new garden that looks amazing. Like an amazing looking garden. So he goes over to Jim and he said, how did you get a garden like that? And Jim said, I told you, man, if you sit back and watch, I'm gonna have the most beautiful yard and most banging garden you've ever seen. So anyway, there's a little moral to this story that kind of goes with what I was saying. And the moral to this story is if you pay attention to your own shit, if you pay attention to what you're doing and not what homeboy down the street is doing, not what Lil Wayne's doing, not what Justin Bieber's doing, not what the Kardashians are doing, what they got, how much money they got, what they just spent their money on, who's having babies, who's doing this, who's doing that, you're gonna start seeing progress. You're gonna see progress pretty fucking quick. Like myself. No, I'm not famous. No, I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm doing good for myself right now. I'm doing pretty good for me. And that's all I need. I keep my head down and keep hustling. I've got a full-time job that you guys are seeing me do right now. I do YouTube because I want to. Because I like making videos. Because I like sitting here talking to myself. Whenever there ain't nobody else around. Plus, I'm starting up this other side thing that I'm having to put work into. But you don't see me going around saying, oh, he's doing better than me, so I might as well go talk to him and tell him to get the fuck off of his high horse. You don't see me going around saying, oh man, I wish I was rich, I wish I was rich. Yeah, I do wish I was rich. But that don't mean that I'm about to start saying, oh, I want to be like this person, I want to be like that person. No, I want to be me. I don't know, I think I'm going a little bit off topic here. But, like I was saying, just keep your head down, keep grinding, and don't worry about what anybody else is doing. You will get yours, I promise. That's how this life works. If you keep doing you, and making sure that your stuff stays up, you ain't gotta worry about anybody else, because you're gonna start making it. I promise you. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for me today. This has been your Captain from the Clouds. Make sure you like if you like the video, dislike if you dislike. Comment down below if you have suggestions for future videos. I'll make sure to check that shit out. And yeah, that's about it, guys. This has been your Captain from the Clouds, and I am out of here.